I'm looking at the car, you know, on paper, I can afford the car, no problem. But at the end of the day, my question I'm asking myself, you know, do I really need this car? Hey guys, what's going on? Miller here again in another video. I know that, you know, I've been absent for a while, but guess what guys, we're back again, and hopefully this time for good. So you know, if you're interested in like videos about business, you know, lifestyle, self-improvement type of content, this is your channel. So here we're trying to build a community where, you know, we have like-minded people, we can, you know, learn from one another and grow together ultimately. So if that's you, consider subscribing. As you can see from today's title, I'm gonna talk about the American dream. So I've been pretty much in the rabbit hole of YouTube, you know, just looking at videos after videos after videos about, you know, people talking about American dream, you know, is it a scam? You know, people saying I don't believe in it altogether. So I'm just gonna share my 2 cents, and that being said, let's jump right into it. So before I even start, I would like you to, you know, just type in the comment section, what do you think about the American dream? So when somebody says, I'm living the dream or whatever, what is the first thing that comes to your mind about the American dream? So I would say, personally, from, you know, my background, right? I'm an immigrant. I came to the US like a few years back. And I say that, you know, back in the days, right, I used to look at like America as the promised land, right? For example, the land of opportunities where, you know, a lot of things can happen, you know, where if you put your mind into something, you're able to achieve it. And I think at some level that is true, because, you know, the US does allow you to have that upward mobility in society, more than a lot of other countries, I would say. So on that aspect of things, I would say the American dream holds true, because it does paint the picture that, you know, the US allows you to, you know, really move forward in society if you really put the work in. But at the same time, you know, there's another concept that comes along with that dream as well, right? And that concept is the consumerism idea, where, you know, you have the dream being pictured as, you know, a person having a nice house in a nice neighborhood, you know, they have nice cars in the garage, and, you know, white picket fence, whatever have you. So which means that it pretty much paints the picture of the dream being in relationship with money, right? So all of those things, you can't really acquire them if you don't have money. So at the end of the day, the picture of success or living the dreams of being perceived as successful, right, it's directly aligned to having material things. And that's where, for me, I don't really follow the idea altogether, because after a few years, right, I've started to realize in my life what I want to prioritize, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, I went to school in the US, right? You know, graduated, you know, get a job in corporate America. And I started understanding, right, that money is not the all in all, right? Money is just part of the puzzle, but you need a whole lot of things in order to make the puzzle work. And at the end of the day, I'm thinking that one has to, you know, prioritize what they want to do and define their own idea of success. So on my end, I would say I'll define it as, you know, 2 things or 3 things, if you want to say. So first one is being, you know, financially free. So financially free is really being able to, you know, do things, having the funds to do things whenever you want to do them, and not be able to, and not tying up that, you know, that money or the resources to a 9-to-5 job per se. So the thing is being able to do things on your own terms, right? Having your own business, whether it's a side hustle, whether, you know, you're doing making money online, you know, where you are your own director of your life technically. Because if you have a 9-to-5, you know, you're working for somebody else or whatever have you, then you can't really control the narrative when it comes to your money, right? So let's say tomorrow you might say, hey, you know, you don't have no work anymore. You can go to work and your boss says, sorry, we gotta let you go. It's not their fault. It's not because they're a bad person, but that's what it is. And somebody has to realize that. So I think, you know, part of my dream, right, my definition of success is really being, you know, financially free, so you can really dictate your life on your own term. having the relationships in life as well, right? So relationships can be, because life is about people, right? Having people around you, that's again, that's another aspect of success, right? It can be your family, your loved ones, friends. So all of those relationships, right, are really important in life. And I think that this is another puzzle of success, is having meaningful relationships in your life. And as I'm, getting older, and those things are being prioritized in my life per se, and that will be like another puzzle of the success part that I will define. So, I mean, in retrospect, right, I'm thinking the concept of the American dream is not new, right? It has been there for almost a century, I believe. But along the way, right, people have different ideas or different opinions about the subject, and the definition gets blurred along the line. So I think that on one end, right, it is true that the US does allow you to have that upward mobility in society, which I mentioned earlier, versus a lot of countries in the world. So we do have better prospect of being successful on that end, or being able to move from a lower rank society to a higher rank in the US. And I think that part holds true. But the second part, which is assimilating that success solely to having those material things, is really to be taken with a grain of salt, right? Especially if you are trying to define success for yourself. And I think that on one end, right, it does make sense, I would say, in society, because I can see why, and I'll explain, right? I can see why they paint the picture of being successful with material things, because at the end of the day, right, you have a society, you want people to consume, right? You want people to buy things, you want people to support whatever the economical system, so that the country can be functioning as it's supposed to. So I can see that. But at the end of the day, my question remains, right, at what cost, right? At what cost I'm gonna go out there, get a house, get a nice car, in a nice neighborhood. Probably a lot of people fall into the trap because you probably cannot afford some of those things, right? I don't know if you realize that a lot of those times you see a car, for example, and I love cars, by the way, right? I'm looking at a car, on paper I can afford the car, no problem. But at the end of the day, my question I'm asking myself, do I really need this car? You know what I mean? It's like, what is it gonna bring me internally, right? I mean, I might get like an instant gratification for a minute, but after like a month or two, I'm stuck with the car note, and I'm gonna get accustomed to it, right? I'm gonna get accustomed to it, and the bill is not gonna be any less. Understanding that all of those things are good, but the question you should ask yourself, which I think is, at what cost, right? If I want to keep up with the Jones, I see my friend have a nice car. I'm saying, he's living the dream, but at what cost? I probably don't know. I probably can answer that question, right? So it's really, like a tricky, dynamic. You gotta understand, where you wanna be and why you wanna do things, right? Because at this point in my life, right, I know I don't wanna do things just to please anybody. I wanna do things because this is what I wanna do, and I have my reason for it. And if somebody wanna do that, wanna, maybe impress somebody else, with their money, with material things, that's fine. I mean, as long as they know the consequences of that, that's fine. But if you want to define success for yourself, and which I highly recommend, then that's where I think it becomes more important. At the end of the day, all of those things come with a cost, and being able to define really success to your own term, I think that's really where the dreams becomes true. So I would like to know in the comment section, what do you think about the American dream? Why do you think is your dream, if you have already figured that out? That being said, thanks guys for watching this video. I hope it has been insightful, and if so, please feel free to share with somebody else, and let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. I'd like to hear from you, and yeah, stay tuned, more videos coming. So I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.